Also, I guess we'll touch on this because it's somewhat topical, but people got mad at me for covering it in a video, so I'm going to wrap you into the drama.
Yeah, I'm down.
There was an incident over the weekend. Obviously, last Saturday was supposed to be the day that KSI fought Dylan Dennis.
Yep.
Rest in peace to that fight. And I say that because I don't think the fight's going to happen. I'll tell you why in a second. But on the Saturday, on the faithful day that the fight was not happening because JJ had to pull out with the sickness, he was caught out at an Usher concert by Derek Chisora, of all people, putting him on his story and then promptly deleting that story because, of course, very silly to do and also makes you look guilty as hell. But obviously, the internet had to win a blaze, and so did I. Not in a chastising way, but just all I said was, it's just not a good look. And what I meant,
Of course not.
Thank you. What I meant wasn't that JJ was well enough to fight. I think a lot of people went, "Oh, Wade, how do you not know that being at a concert is not the same as, being ready to fight?" I do know that. But, context clues here and thinking on a level that isn't just base and maybe sub-high 100 IQ would lead you to believe that when people see a fighter that said they were sick pull out of said fight and then see them at an Usher concert the night the fight was supposed to happen, the immediate thought they have in their mind was, you lied. Doesn't mean that's true.
Right.
But I paid money to come see that fight. And I paid money for a flight. And I paid money for a hotel. And now I get to see you on Derek Chisora's story having fun at the concert. But I'm trying to get a refund. That's the thing. I was like, it's a bad, and that's the thing. Perception becomes reality at that point.
Let's put it this way. Make it simple for everybody. That seems to be indifferent or on the fence about how they feel it. If JJ made the announcement about his sickness and he can't fight at the Usher concert, okay? And he's like, listen, guys,
hey,
you know what I'm saying?
I've
been sick. I can't do it. Even if he feels the same way.
I'll be back, though. I promise. I'll be back. All right? Hey. This is my confession. Just when I said all that. Say on, guys, for real. It's not going. Other side says she got one. It's not going to go well, dude. Of course not.
Even if you're not feeling well,
right?
Even if the truth is the truth, perception. There's a reason. Obviously, I'm not saying he made up the video, but when he makes a video with his sick, you're not going to be like, "Hey guys."
Here's another point. Why are you doing the video in the first place?
Right.
From the bed with the coughing and all that. Because you're sick, but also it shows people. They get the perception, oh, you're sick. Okay. He didn't have to make the video, but it's a message to tell people, look, I am physically sick.
Right, it's the truth.
It's the truth. I'm telling you, this is what I sound like. This is what's going on. And also, I'm in bed. I got the nose thing on. I'm coughing.
And he could be like, you know what, he's feeling a little bit better, but I'm going to go out.
Of course,
I'm gonna celebrate. I want to get a... I don't exactly. I'm not knocking him for doing that, but of course, this is the truth of the perception, the context.
You can't, in my opinion, you can't.
He didn't make the video from the Usher concert.
Yeah, you can't do it. You can't do it.
You know what I'm saying?
Do it next weekend. Do it fucking Tuesday.
I mean, you can do it, but just don't expect people to be like.
I don't know that he.
Go kid.
That's a good point. I don't know that he cares about that.
That's the thing. It doesn't matter. You know what I mean? But
that brings up a whole nother conversation.
If he says, okay, if he comes back and he's like, listen, come on, guys. You know what I mean? It's like, well, dude,
But if this is, again, speculation Wade, but if that's just like one of those things like, I don't give a fuck. Whatever. I'm going to go do what I want to do. I don't give a fuck. Grown man, do what you want to do.
Yeah.
But how many times are people going to continue to come back? And also, how many times are you going to come back?
Yeah, it's going to get added to that, so...
Dude, I'm telling you, I think he's close to being done. And I think it might be sooner than later. I don't think he's fighting Dylan Dennis. This whole idea that he even, jumped down my throat about it, talking about, oh, it's postponed. I don't think it's postponed. I think it's going to be canceled, and I don't think he's going to fight Dylan at all. Because we had Mike Perry. Now, again, Mike Perry could be lying, and... he could just be talking out of his ass. I have a feeling that Mike Perry is not a man that lies a lot. Not to a publication like the Ariel Helwani show. Let's take a look at what was said yesterday as to why I think this fight with Dylan is completely off. Jesus, Ariel, you tweet every single clip from the show. Holy fuck. This has literally happened 2 days ago, and he's got... I mean, fuck it. He's grinding.
Yep.
Could I get more freaking Bret Hart? Shout out to the legend, but damn. Quick, what's Bret Hart's finishing maneuver?
Dude, I don't know.
This is why you ain't a real wrestling fan.
I'm a casual, dude. I'm a casual late 1990s wrestling fan.
He was in the late 90s. He was in the early 90s and 80s more, but still.
He wasn't him, I guess.
Wow. Chat. Come after him because I didn't say it. He said it. I did not say it. He said
casual
it.
fan that I was. I didn't have his action figure.
Freaking sharpshooter.
So.
Come on now. Here's Mike Perry talking about a potential fight with Dylan Dennis.
What Mams is coming up with over there in Misfits, and they're changing it completely because he was going to fight KSI in what, boxing?
Yeah, but that was supposed to be this past weekend, March 29th.
Yeah, it looks like, the date changed a little bit, but
okay,
might not be too far away. I might get in trouble for dropping that, but
they love us. They love us.
Why not? Let's go, man. So I said yes to fighting Dylan Dennis in MMA.
Oh, damn.
But they got to come correct. They got to come correct. It's the last.
So Mike let that one slip out on Ariel's show, essentially saying, KSI's out and Mams, names drops Mams there, come to me and ask me for a fight with Dylan Dennis in MMA. Now, why in the world would they do that if KSI was looking to reschedule? He's not. He's not. It's not happening.
Yeah. I can definitely see Mams just throwing the idea out there, trying to fish for hey, get a feel for.
But you wouldn't.
Because I know they want to do
they
want to do the MMA thing. No, especially if you know that they're
you
going to
wouldn't
have
do that
actual date.
to try to entice Dylan to fight more because he's going to make more money fighting KSI.
Yeah.
And if anybody's going to have the date and availability to do it, it's the CEO of the company. Now, there is a rumor out there, and this is something that hasn't been picked up yet. I haven't even talked about this on my main channel yet, so we are getting first report news here, buddy.
Exclusivity.
Yeah, dude. Let me see if I can find it. There was a report, and I don't know who had the report, but someone involved with ESPN apparently, unless I'm getting April Fool's, which I don't think I was because this was reported on the 31st. There we go. Chava ESPN. All right, now come back, Brendan, so that we look like we're a serious podcast. Salvador Rodriguez, who has broken a couple of different stories involving Jake, and I guess now this one with KSI. I don't know if this is necessarily a story yet, but he's reporting that, I don't know who they is, but they tell me about the possibility of seeing KSI and Julio Cesar Chavez Jr. in the next few months. We'll see. So this also supports my theory that he's not fighting Dylan again.
Yes, it does. It definitely does. This is true.
But I mean, this would be a massive step up, but it's an odd one too. It's an odd step up. This is a guy who is 39. We know that the history of Chavez Jr. He's had drug issues, obviously, not perform at the level that a lot of people wanted him to, as, being the son of a legend and possessing a ton of skills. Just recently had a back and forth fight with Uriah Hall on Jake Paul's Mike Perry card. Obviously got beat by Anderson Silva, not been as active in the game after going to drug rehab a couple different times, but still would be a massive step up for anything KSI's faced.
Yeah, for sure. So
the question is, how possible is this? And do I see KSI doing it? I'm gonna say no. I'll say I hope this would be just I don't know, an idea to say KSI is still interested in fighting, but I'm gonna say no because I don't think he is. And I'm starting to see more and more evidence for it. The lack of any sort of initiative to kind of reschedule with Dylan Dennis. Just the time period in between him fighting Tommy to now. Injuries, the 2v1 thing that we just kind of forgot about that was super weird. Now you have this pull out, the Sidemen.
What 2v1?
Remember KSI was going to fight the 2v1 and then pulled out because he had the hand injury?
Oh, that's right. I forgot about that.
See what I'm saying? How
Who was the 2v1 again?
It was supposed to have been against AT and Slim.
Oh my God, that's right.
Yeah. You know this, and so do I, being around fighters and seeing people lose the passion for it.
Yeah.
JJ has been fighting an uphill battle to fight Jake Paul for the last 4 years, we'll say.
Yeah, that's the only fight I think that he cares about.
And these other fights were supposed to have been a means for him to raise his level, to get back into shape, to get, knock the rust off, yada, yada. And then he has the Tommy Fury fight, which he said he took so that he could beat Tommy Fury and eclipse Jake Paul that way since they weren't fighting. Yeah. You lose that fight. Then you have these pullouts. And you're frustrated because of the sickness, because of the hand injury, the sidemen are not wanting you to fight because you got all this other stuff you're doing. Prime is still taking off. You want to do music. I'm telling you now, man, I think it's sooner rather than later. This guy's going to hang it up, and I think it's probably going to be this year. I think he's done.
Damn.
That's what I think.
He's said it, so it's not like he's...
It's not like he's going to be in here for the long haul. The only thing was he had talked about wanting... the big fights, and I want Jake Paul and all this, but he's not getting big fights because he's not consistently in this thing, and people don't take him, and people are going to take this the wrong way, but they don't take him seriously in the combat sports scene, the names that he wants, enough to give levity to it. Jake doesn't.
Yeah.
Conor McGregor's locked up with the UFC. I don't know. They were saying something about Conor fighting on Alcatraz. That could have happened potentially, but Conor said no. So I just don't think that they look at him like, oh, outside of money, that'll help. Like, I don't know. Nate Diaz apparently turned him down. So I think he's done, man. I think this will be the last, maybe the last we've seen of KSI was him fighting Tommy, unless the Jake Paul fight materializes, and I don't think it's going to.
Yeah, that makes sense. I think that is the one. Jake just came out and said he thinks it's going to happen eventually, right? It just recently.
Yeah, but like at that point, what's it matter?
Right.
Like when is eventually? 5 years from now? It's like,
yeah, no way. No way.
You say that, but like, I mean, think about it. What Jake's trying to do right now? He's trying to fight Anthony Joshua. I think it's insane. They're apparently going to announce Jake Paul's fight or a fight potentially next week. Nagisa Badarian was talking about. He wants the Canelo fight. When's he going to get the Canelo fight? It's probably going to take him a couple of years now that Canelo's locked up with Turki Al-Sheikh for the next 4 fights. So you got a couple of years to wait on that one. And you think he's going to fight JJ before he fights Canelo? No. Why would you? If you're commanding names like Canelo Alvarez in the scene, if you're commanding names like Daniel Dubois calling you out, Gervonta Tank Davis, Anthony Joshua, and they're all like, yeah, let's run it. Why? You know what I'm saying?
Maybe just because it just becomes like a personal thing.
But brother, we've been at this personal shit for the last 4 years. If it was that personal, they would have done it. It's personal to JJ. It's not personal to Jake anymore.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like it's so clear that JJ wants it more. So clear. Not even close.
Maybe Logan will just, befriend JJ more.
Logan's like, I have to get the fight. So Jake,
like after this,
actually, we're making Prime V2.
Some more things come out.
Actually, it's more things. Sorry, Jake, it's not Paul American anymore. It's Logan and JJ's friendship show. So you're gone, buddy. We're actually doing this now. I don't know, dude.
You never know. Some stuff, some of the stuff,
it could change like this. It could change like this. Like we could wake up tomorrow and it could change 100%.
And it's the most sensitive, even though it's like the most sensitive thing, even though he doesn't care, it's the one fight that he could end up caring about like this.
If Jake were to...
Because of Logan and how sensitive it is.
If Jake were to lose to someone... Let's say that they did the Tommy Fury rematch and Jake lost again. Then that fight becomes very, very much more needed for him. If you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I know what I'm saying.
At that point...
Based on his path.
That's
where he's at
yeah.
Right
that would be like, all right, we got to do this on now, But until that point comes, I just don't see it. They could drag this thing out for another 5 years. And I think JJ, if he's not going to fight some of these names that he doesn't deem valuable, and it's clear he doesn't give a shit about the Dillon fight anymore. By the way, I just want to say, if Dillon had been caught out doing some of this shit, the people would be fucking killing him.
Oh, it would be over. No doubt about it.
But, the rules ain't the same in his game. But if he doesn't care about those fights, does JJ even, 5 years, let's say 2 years, if he takes 2 more years off, takes another year off, is he going to really come back and give it the go? I don't know. I don't know.
Damn.
If it is, should we wait to give our final goodbyes if it is the end of this thing? Do we wait until there's an official announcement?
Yeah, you have to, dude. It's a fight game.
Yeah,
you have to.
yeah.
Because even after that, you can still someone can say, I want to fight. So
Well, if it does
as we
happen,
know with Mike Tyson, it's never really the end.
oh come on, that we knew that that was not Mike in there anymore. That was
I know, but I'm saying he never was gonna fight. People are like he's not.
He's talking about taking another fight, by the way. He did an interview this week, and I was like, "What?
You never know. Maybe it isn't 5 years. Maybe it's 10 years. We got like a 40-year-old Jake versus 40-year-old KSI.
No, I'm saying Mike
like,
was saying he wanted to take another fight.
No, I know Mike.
Yeah,
that's what I'm saying.
Oh,
People,
yeah.
You think it's over, and then it's not.
Yeah. If that announcement comes, we'll have our goodbye speeches prepared then. But until then, we'll wait. I just think that's what it is.
I can't take no loss. I don't even know what it costs. I hit the ground, then it go off. Yeah, hit the ground, then it go off. Yeah, I can't take no loss. I don't even know what it costs.